So today we discuss about simple pendulum. In simple pendulum, a heavy solid iron or mass ball. This is known as ball. So heavy solid mass known as ball made up of iron or brass is freely suspended by a light but strong thread string with a rigid support. So this is a weighty object made up of iron or brass. It has a mass with a light but strong thread or string, and it is suspended with a support. A ball is suspended by a light but strong string from a rigid support. This is simple pendulum. In ideal case, we need a massless bob and a massless string. This is not possible because if you take any object, that means it has a mass. But this is the case of ideal. But here we take a light but a strong thread with a heavy mass known as bob and suspended with a support, rigid support. So this is simple pendulum. It is at a rest position, and rest position is denoted by O, that is mean position. Now what we do, we just starting from O and move in one side, suppose in this side. So I just taking the bob which is in a rest position and just I move in this side. This is position A and this is position B. So when it's moved in one side and then release, I just move in this position and release, move in this position and release. What happened? It started to move like this, started to move in either side, but it passes through its mean position. When just I move from this side and release, started to move, started in motion, but it is here, it is passes through its mean position, passes through its mean position or its rest position. So this is pendulum. So there are some terms. First one is oscillation. Oscillation. So what is the meaning of oscillation? One complete to and fro motion is known as oscillation. One complete to and fro motion is known as oscillation. So what is this to and fro motion? So we just start from here, OA, AB, BO, OA, AB, BO, mean position to its extreme position, again one is extreme to another extreme, then coming to the mean position is known as one oscillation. But it is in motion, okay, but when it is complete one oscillation, so when it started with mean position to its extreme position, again going to the another extreme, then coming to the mean, not in a rest position, just passes through the mean. When it passes through the mean, it's complete one oscillation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this oscillation, okay, but it's complete in a motion. But when it started from the main position going to the extreme position, then going to the another extreme, then coming to the mean position, it's complete one oscillation. So this is one oscillation. One complete to and fro motion is known as its one oscillation. Clear? Second one. Second one is period or time period. Time period. What is the definition of time period? The time taken to complete one oscillation. Time taken to complete one oscillation. Time taken to complete one oscillation. How much time it takes to complete one oscillation is known as time period. How much time to take complete one oscillation is known as time period. It is denoted by T. It is denoted by T. And SI unit is second. It is denoted by T and SI unit is second. It is denoted by T and SI unit is second, not small t, that is capital T. So two terms clear, oscillation in time period. Now third one is frequency. Frequency. So what is the meaning of this frequency? Number of oscillation complete in 1 second. Number of oscillation complete in 1 second. How you find? Start. Suppose I just take 10-second time. In 10 seconds, the number of oscillation complete, suppose 50. Number of oscillation complete 50 in 10 seconds, number of oscillation complete 50, like this. So in 1 second, 50 by 10, that is 5. And frequency, the unit is Hertz, Hz, or per second. So frequency is 5 per second or 5 Hertz. Clear? So frequency means number of oscillation complete in 1 second. 1 second. Suppose in 10 seconds is complete 50 oscillations in 1 second, 50 by 10, 5. 5 per second, or you can say 5 per second means 5 Hertz. What is the relationship between this frequency and time period? So frequency is equal to 1 by time period, or time period is equal to 1 by frequency. Clear? Now one more terms, that is amplitude. A-M-P-L-I-T-U-D, amplitude. What is the meaning of this amplitude? The extreme position from its mean position to its A, that is extreme position. Extreme. Mean to extreme, OA. Mean to extreme, OB, that is known as amplitude. It is denoted by the letter capital A or small a. And it is measured in meter. It is measured in meter. So 4 terms clear. Oscillation, one complete to and fro motion. Mean position to extreme, then another extreme, then mean. That is oscillation. Time period, time taken to complete one oscillation. How much time it takes to complete one oscillation? From this mean, start A, B, O, it takes 2 seconds. So time period 2 seconds. So number of oscillation complete, how much time taken to complete oscillation, that is time period. Denoted by capital T, SI unit second. Frequency. Frequency means number of oscillation complete. Number of oscillation complete complete oscillation in a second. COMPLE, the complete oscillation in 1 second. Suppose in 10 seconds, it's complete 50 oscillation. So in 1 second, 50 by 10, that is 5. It is denoted by Hertz, Hz or per second. The relationship between frequency and time, frequency is equal to 1 by t or t is equal to 1 by a. Amplitude means that extreme position, O2A or O2B, that is known as frequency. Clear? Now one more thing, that is the experiment. After understanding the experiment, we have some conclusion. Then it is easy to understand. So the experiment is what? Suppose I take my number 1 experiment, then number 2 experiment, number 3 experiment. In all experiment, I take a simple pendulum with a rigid body with some length by a rigid support. Okay. So this is the effective length. This is known as the length of the string L. Suppose I take L in that 3 experiment, 3 different lengths. I take 25 centimeter first. Okay. Then I start in a motion and observe when it's complete 20 oscillation. When it's complete 20 oscillation. OSCI right here. Okay. When it completes 20 oscillation, by using some stopwatch, and I found that in 20 seconds it's complete 20 oscillation. So what is the time period? So time period is equal to time taken by number of oscillation. So time taken 20 and number of oscillation also 20. So 20 cut 1 is there. Okay. Now in my experiment 2, second experiment, I just increase the length of the string. Now in second case, I take some more length. Suppose I take 64 centimeters. And again started to move like this. Make it in extreme position and then release. Started to motion. And then observe when it's complete 20 oscillation. Again, in every case we take 20 oscillation. And again observe when it's complete 20 oscillation. When it's complete 20 oscillation, I just click the stopwatch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's coming, it's continuing in motion. And just I observe when it's complete 20 oscillation. When it's complete 20 oscillation, I just stop the stopwatch. And I found that it takes 32 seconds. In 32 seconds, it complete 20 oscillation. Okay. So time period is equal to what? A time period is equal to number of oscillation by, time period is equal to time taken by number of oscillation. Okay. Cut, and here it is 1.6. Okay, sir. In third experiment, I again increase the length of the string of a simple pendulum. In that case, I take 100 centimeter. Then it is a main position. I just move in extreme and then release. It started to motion And again I observe when it complete 20 oscillation. When it complete 20 oscillation. Start with the stopwatch, start with the stopwatch and started motion, and just observe when it's complete 20 oscillation. When it's complete 20 oscillation, I just click the stopwatch and find that in 40 seconds it's complete 20 oscillation. The time period is what? 40 seconds by 20 oscillation. That is 2. That is 2. That is 1.6. That is 1. So with this 3 experiment, we can observe that when the length of the string increase, the time taken to complete same number of oscillation, that is I take 20 oscillation, is also increase. If we increase the length of the string, time taken to complete the oscillation also increase. In all 3 cases, the parameter is what? 20 oscillation. In this case also I take 20 oscillation. Here also take 20 oscillation, and here also take 20 oscillation. And we observe that increase the length, time also increase. When the length is 25 centimeter, it takes 20 seconds to complete 20 oscillation. But when we take 64 centimeter, that is I increase the length, time taken also increase 32 seconds. It takes 32 seconds to complete 20 oscillation. And when I increase the length 100 centimeter, in that case also to complete 20 oscillation, time taken 40. That means increase the length of the string, time also increase to complete oscillation, number of oscillation. One more thing we observe. We just check this 25 centimeter and 100 centimeter. How many times? 4 times. 25 into 4 is 100. So 4 times. Length increase from here to here how much? 4 times. Length increase 4 times. Time period increase 2 times, double. Here it is 1, now it is 2. So it's double. Clear? Length increase 4 times, so time period increase double, 2 times. So we can say the time period T is proportional to the square root of length of the pendulum. We can say time period is square root of the length of the simple pendulum. Yes, time period is 2, then the length is how much? 4 times. When time period is 1, the length is 25. And when the time period is double, the length is 100. That means when it is 1, it is 25. When it is double, it's 100. That means it's double, it's 4 times. It's double, it's 4 times. It's double, it's 4 times. Clear? So from here, we can say that time period is directly proportional to the root under of L, that is length. Okay? From this discussion, we can now start the effect. What are the effects? Or depends upon. The factor depends upon the time period of simple pendulum. So first one is clear. The factors depend. Factors depends. First one, you can write the time period of oscillation is directly proportional to the square roots of its effective length. That means T is directly proportional to L, root under A. That means we can say T square is directly proportional to L square in both sides. Squaring both sides. Here t square, here root under square root is removed. So first one is clear. The time period of oscillation is directly proportional to the square root of its effective length. Because of this case, something happened in our daily life. Because of this case, something happened in our daily life. What? In summer means hot season. Hot. So metal, it has a property that on heating it's expand and on cooling it's contract. So in summer, hot season, the metal expand. That means length of the pendulum made up of metal. This one made up of metal. This is the string and this is the metal bob. So it's expand. So if it is expand, so suppose like this or suppose like this. So what happened? The length is this one, but due to expand, it's now become this one. Earlier the length is up to this one, but due to expand, it's now become up to this one. Because it is made up of metal and it has a property on heating it's expand. Okay. During winter, cold. So on cooling, the metal contract. Suppose the bob is this one. During cooling, due to cool or cold season, now it's contract, maybe smaller. So the string is increased. Earlier it is up to this one, but due to contract, now it's become up to this one. Increase. So length increase and decrease. So if length increase and decrease, then the clock go fast. The clock go fast in winter and slow in summer. Here it's faster and here it's slow due to the increasing length. So this is the first topic. Clear? One more thing. I don't know you realize or not, but this is what? A jhula. Swing. Like this swing. So what happened? If a girl or a boy sitting, suppose the head and this is sitting. Sitting, this person is act as a bob. This person is act as a bob. So what is the center of its gravity? Suppose here. So what is the length of the string? So from this bob up to this much. Clear? Now this person now stands. He stands up. What happened? The center of gravity also rises. Earlier it is here because he is sitting. Now stand up. So that's why the center of gravity rises. It's come here. So if the center of gravity is here, what is the length of its string here? Earlier it is up to this much. Now it is up to this much. So what happened? Length decrease. On standing, length decrease. On sitting, length increase. And that's why we have noticed while swinging, if I stand on the swing, the time period of the swing decrease. That means swing moves faster. And if we sit, the swing moves slower. This is what? This is due to this expression. Time period is directly proportional to the square root of length. Clear? First one. Second one. Time period is inversely proportional to the time period is inversely proportional to the acceleration due to gravity. the time period of oscillation is inversely proportional to the square root of acceleration due to gravity. And that's why the time period of oscillation increase when it is taken to mountain or mines. If this type of clock, this type of pendulum clock, if we use, and when it is taken in a mountain or in a mines, what happens? The oscillation increase. Why? As we go above, the acceleration due to g, that is gravity, decrease. As we go above means what? Above the earth surface, acceleration due to gravity, that is g, decrease. And as we go down, that is under the earth surface, that means mines, here also the g decrease, because here we are also closer to the earth crust where the g is completely zero. That means we are going to the zero mark, that means decrease. So in this case, the value of acceleration due to gravity g decrease with altitude as well as the depth of the earth's surface. So that's why we can say the time period of oscillation is inversely proportional to the square root of acceleration due to gravity. Clear? This is second point. Now third and fourth point, the first and second, their factors depend. And third and fourth point, here the factors not depend upon. The factors not affecting the time. That means the time period of simple pendulum. What are they? First one, the ball. You can take 50-gram bob or 5-kilogram bob. Does not matter. You can take stone. We can take metal. We can take brass or iron. Anything. So the time period of oscillation does not depend. Time period of oscillation does not depend on the mass of the mass or the material of the body or bob. Mass you can take 50 gram, 5 gram, anything. The material you can take stone, you can take iron, you can take brass, anything. Does not depend, does not affecting the time period. And one more point, the time period of oscillation does not depend on the extreme position, extreme swing of either side. That means suppose you take a pendulum, that is its main position here. From here you just move up to this much either side, and I take a pendulum, this is main position, and I just move up to this much. So here OA is more and here OA is less. That means the time period of oscillation does not depend on the extent swing of either side. How much I swing or less I swing, no matter. It does not matter. So two things, whether factors affecting and two things are there, factor not affecting. The factor affecting is the time period of oscillation is directly proportional to the square root of its effective length, and the time period of oscillation is inversely proportional to the square root of its acceleration due to gravity. And two, that is not affected, that is mass of the body and material of the body. And second one is how much I extend. Time period of oscillation does not depend on the extent of swing on either side. So these are the four factors. From this above discussion, from this above discussion, we can say a expression that is t is equal to 2 pi into L by g, where